played this for a reason. You only get one shot. You got to be prepared, have the beat, because you never know when that time is going to come. We just did our Doomsday Cypher Volume 2 airing on Revolt TV last night. Round of applause for all them MCs that got that shot and made the most of it. I like that. I like MCs who are invested in the craft and what they do, how they build their story and tell their story through their art and their expression. Some people stand out more than others to me. I don't know, maybe we're on the same frequency. We had the Long Island Medium here yesterday, Teresa Caputo.
Sure did.
And Tracy asked her an interesting question about, do you pick up on souls, people who are in the afterlife that are probably in purgatory, right?
Or hell.
And what was her response?
She says that sometimes she can't have her frequency get that low. If you can't meet her at a certain level, then she ain't going further down.
Wow.
She didn't pick up on those vibrations. She couldn't tune in. There's some artists that give off frequency levels that are appealing, that you attracted to. Some music might have some low-end levels to it, too, that make us want to dance or make us want to rally or make us want to riot.
Or fuck.
That, too, Tracy. That is so important. That is important.
It keeps the world moving around, no?
Keep them up. Some visuals do the same thing. Images affect us certain ways when they hit our eyesight. You put the full package together, you got a full package of somebody that has a multi-dimensional appeal to them. That's what I think we have sitting right here at the beat.
Oh, wow.
When I listen to this man's music, when I hear the energy that's coming through his music, one of his biggest songs, A Classic Man, is something that a lot of us could relate to. Made me feel good to hear it before I even saw him or knew who he was, or really made the tie between Wonderland and Janelle Monae and actually knew who he was. But when I first heard the song, it made me want to be better. I start going through my wardrobe. Piecing together. This year I've been dressing a little better than I dressed last year because of it. I ain't where I need to be. And I dug a little deeper, found out the man went to school in the area I grew up in, Northern California, went to Stanford University, right?
Yes, sir.
And studied ritualistic arts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I made it up.
You made that
Yeah,
up?
I made it up.
I was like, what the hell is ritualistic
Nobody.
arts? I was like, what is that? I started digging. But he's here today to celebrate his debut album, The Chief, which is out tomorrow. Give it up for Jidenna, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, it's a pleasure and an honor, honestly, to be here.
Okay.
It's we've been wanting to connect for a minute and chop it up. So it's great to be here, man. It is, and I do feel like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders now.
Good.
There ain't nothing like the debut album. I know there'll be many more. I know I can do better. I got my own critique of the album, but it's great to get it out, man.
Well, you already critiqued your own album? What do you mean?
Oh yeah, of course.
People haven't even heard it yet. What do you mean? You giving us the cons before we could experience it?
No, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what I think, but you always want to improve and self-improve, man. I mean, Classic Man really was about excellence and dignity, and excellence is a habit. It's all about consistency. When Kobe, it's funny how when Kobe was retiring, everybody, when he scored like 40, people were like, oh yeah, he didn't have a great game, oh yeah, he didn't score 50 this time. It's like, come on, man. He's great because of his consistency.
Yeah.
So that's what the record was about, and I'm glad you felt it. And it came out of actually looking outside my window in East Flatbush, and I knew the sanitation workers that would come by and pick up my trash, every week, twice a week. And just seeing them in their uniform every week doing the same job, the barbershop, Jose's barbershop that was on my block, just seeing those guys, the Dominicans that used to learn they knew how to cut my hair. Every day, man, just showing up. I wanted to make an anthem for them.
Yes.
And I'm glad that was the song that kicked off my career. There couldn't have been a better way to come in the game. But now I'm here with the Chief, and there's a lot more in store than just suits.
Yeah.
I do wear T-shirts.
Whoa.
You know, I do.
You talk to women through music too. You do that for a few of the songs. Yeah. You got some. You got an interesting dichotomy to you, I think, because on this album, I listened to albums backwards. So the first song I heard was "Bully of the Earth."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I listen. It's my.
So
thing.
you listen to it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you
Man.
don't know how I got it.
Wow. Okay.
They didn't give it to me, and I was mad because I didn't have it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't found did my thing. And then I heard a song called "White Niggas."
Ooh.
He listened to the album. Okay, so we got some leaks in our crew. I'm glad you have it though. You know, I was looking through. I thought I had your number last time because I was gonna send you the early copy, but I didn't have it, and I realized
I thought we exchanged.
I did too.
I might have got yours and then send you mine.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
So you did hear. Okay, so you heard some interesting songs first.
Yeah.
I didn't know you do it like that. Yeah, Bully of the Earth and White Niggas. Definitely.
I'm gonna come to White Niggas.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to go there first?
I want to go to Bully of the Earth first.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, Bully
dig
of the
in.
Earth. Well, let's start with the title.
Yes.
Why was it titled Bully of the Earth?
So the album really is a story of manhood for me. It's a story of, and then there's manhood in relationship a lot of times to your father, whether he was in and out in your of your life, whether you know him or not. And then there's the Chief, which is kind of the highest self, like the Chief, the boss, the Don. That's the highest version of manhood for me, and that's what I imagine my father to be when he was younger, probably. Bully of the Earth though is multifaceted. There's the relationship with a parent. Sometimes you feel like your parent's the biggest bully of the earth. You know, growing up, like there's nothing worse. I can't. As soon as I get out this house, as soon as I get my money right, as soon as I get out there, I'm gonna get past this bully. And I had a love-hate relationship with my pops for sure.
Yeah.
So that was, and originally it came out of that. But the bully of the earth could be the bully in school.
Yeah.
It could be for some women it's their husband. Or it could be the president of the United States. You know, who's the bully of the earth. Yeah. You know, and we saw how bullying was rampant right after, he goes into office. All these cowards come out the woodwork and try to punk people. But you a punk because you couldn't do it until this Trump was in there. So to me, that record kind of, it summarizes the album. It's from personal experience, and then it veers into a larger message.
Okay. Yeah, and I thought in the beginning, is he speaking to his father? Your father passed on?
Yes, he did.
What year did he pass?
2010.
Okay, 2010.
Yep.
Did y'all ever find?
Common ground?
Yeah, actually, the last couple conversations I had with him, a lot of the lyrics in that song are from Proverbs. He told me, like, "You're not your own man until your father dies." That was one of them, so I sang that. And it's really later in life that you realize that bully is just a man.
Right.
I remember, I think Bob Marley said, "He's the biggest baby you ever seen." Or sorry, the biggest man you ever seen is once a baby.
Yes.
And it's true. So that definitely was a song of me talking to him and talking to him, giving him an update. Here's what's happened since the 7 years since you went away. And that number, even 7 years, that's why I made 14 tracks, 7 times 2. 2017. That's actually 7 years to the date of my father's passing. He passed on the 17th, on the day I'm dropping the album.
This album.
So yeah, so a lot of people are like, why do you take so long, or what are you doing? And it's all divine order at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You don't know sometimes. You question like, damn, should we have dropped in October when everything was hot? But then this date has way more significance for me and my family and the village that we're from than any other arbitrary date.
You hear a lot of those rhythms. Your father was Nigerian?
Yeah.
Igbo?
Igbo, yeah.
Okay, and you hear, I feel like I hear a lot of that in this album, too.
Yeah.
That was important to you?
Yeah, I mean, I tucked it in. I wanted to make an album that people anywhere could relate to, people in the world, the different people that I've encountered, but definitely there's a lot of rhythm, but also like principles and some melodies that I'm using and different things. Like we released a song Bambi.
Yeah.
And so, you know, some people that are fans of rock steady reggae will say like, "Oh, it got a rock steady vibe," and that's true. But the foundation's actually West African high life music, which was popping when my father was a kid. So I put that in there, put the trap drums on there, and added some little strings, and made it something that's bigger and more modern, but still got the nostalgic view. But always tucked in there, I think, is that. Two roots. I say the roots from being from Nigeria, but also roots of hip hop.
Roots of hip hop.
Yeah.
I like it's a careful balance. You've been producing since high school?
Yeah.
Okay, you were part of a group back then.
Yeah, Black Spades.
The Black Spades.
With the Z. That was our little group we made in prep school. We, for our senior project, we produced the album. And that was the first time I'd ever executive produced something. Wow. I think we made 21 tracks in 30 days. And that
was it whack?
I was the weakest one.
Okay, you were the weakest.
Definitely.
Link. Yeah, okay.
I think so.
Okay.
But the beats were actually dope. That was like, yeah. I wish I could get back to that. I think the music I was making back then was better. But we put that together, pitched it to the school. They was like, nah, you know, it's not academic enough. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw a concert with some Boston local groups. This two artist called Mr. Lift and Acrobatic. So got them on board. They're like, nah, not good enough. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna write an essay about it. And they was like, nah. So I was like, all right, we'll do a documentary, an essay, a show, and an album in 1 month. And they're like, okay, if you can do that. And we did it.
You pulled it together. Jidenna is here, man.
Yeah.
All right. Janelle Monae, I remember when I've been to, concerts with, early in the game, I watched her perform. Big Boy, obviously, was a good friend of mine. I remember he used to speak her up. And I remember she got in cahoots with Diddy and did a concert downtown. I think I interviewed her for MTV or something like that. Matter of fact, it was her first MTV interview. Nobody really understood the connection with Diddy. But I got it because he's a music lover first, right?
Yes.
And he's smart. You know, in that regard. But it took a second for people to grasp all of that energy that was coming from the Wonderland crew.
Yeah.
What was it like teaming up with that organization when you guys first came together? What was that like, and what was the mission?
I mean, I think the thing about that struck me about Wonderland is, and really Janelle, when I first saw her on MySpace, was that she was wearing these like black and white glasses, and she was dancing all wild and messing up her hair, but she started in this clean tux. And I'd never seen any artist that looked like that or had a sound like her. So off top, I knew that this was a place where to be peculiar was like the highest honor, you know what I'm saying? And that was important to me. At the time, like I think this was 2007, 2008, I was looking around at artists, and I was like, man, this is not, everybody looks the same, everybody talks the same. This is not like the 90s when I was coming of age as a little boy, where Slick Rick was out at the same time as Busta Rhymes, at the same time as just the whole West Coast, Dr. Dre. Like, everybody was different. Eminem comes out later, then you got Kanye. That whole, I mean, from the 90s to the early 2000s, I still felt like there was a range. And then we went through this phase which partially still exists right now, where there was less of a unique sound. So Wonderland being that beacon of light for me was very big. So I reached out to Janelle before she was famous, and we had this masquerade ball that we used to host in Oakland and East Palo Alto.
Shut up, Sway.
No, hold on, let that breathe
The Bay
for a
Area.
second, man. Let that breathe for a second, man. You know I was going to tie it back around again.
But you know what's funny about the Bay? The Bay's kind of a wacky place. Like, I was there in the height of hyphy, you know, and
Who was there about 07?
sideshows, like, I mean, this is crazy. Thizzing before, like, Molly was popping, it was Thiz. The Bay does a lot of things early. Now you see motherfuckers with the little dread, like the colored dreads and dyed hair and, like, you know, but back then, that's what they were doing. Now, you know.
Everybody caught up.
Yeah, everybody caught up. So seeing that, I was like, man, and then that's one side of the Bay. The other side is, like, super revolutionary, like Berkeley. You know how it is. You know, you go out in Oakland, riot, protest, rebellion. You know, I remember Oscar Grant, Fruitvale, man. I was, you know, that was the stop closest to my house.
Okay. Wow. Where did you live?
Off High Street. Yeah, you know High Street?
My grandmother off of Congress in High Street.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was near what they call now, I mean, I don't know if they called it back in the day, Laurel, like the Laurel District. It's
so up near MacArthur.
Yeah, exactly. MacArthur, that was the exit. I lived right behind the little motels where everything went down.
Where the prostitutes and everybody were?
Yeah.
By the 7-Eleven?
Yeah, right.
Wow!
Whoa. Yeah, our house was like, we saw everything going down through in our backyard.
That's a track.
Yeah.
You lived on the track.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was interesting. But it provides stories, man.
Yeah.
It provides stories, and that's what I try to do in this album is tell the story. I didn't try to go for like a vibe. You know what I mean? The trendy word, you know, 14 songs, same song. It wasn't, you can get a playlist for that like any day.
Right.
But for me, it was like, this is my only shot at a debut album of telling a story. Like when I go back to Reasonable Doubt or the early like Illmatic, the classics and the most recent classics like Good Kid, Mad City is like, here's the story of this guy's life, you know. For me, it's just gonna sound different because I didn't live in the same place. I moved so much, 2 continents, you know, 2 coasts, and I moved almost every 5 years of my life. So I can't make the same song. I feel different every day, and I'm influenced by a lot of different people. But I do want to make an album that felt like I'm in the middle. I'm living in the middle. I remember I was talking to Trevor Noah recently.
Did he just stun on us, Trevor Noah?
Stun.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I was talking to Trevor Noah and having coffee with him. No, he wrote this piece, his editorial, and he was saying, I'm paraphrasing. He said, anybody who's lived life in the middle, they realize that life is more in the middle than it is on the sides. It's not a black and white fundamentalist world, man. Life is flimsy, it's fluid, and it's very much in the middle. That's how I ended up with songs like White Niggas.
Well, let's talk about White Niggas.
Yeah.
This is like an interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah.
You know, mindset, you know, existence in today's society, or at least how people perceive it to be.
Yeah.
How did you start writing that? Do you have it memorized? Like, can you say the first few
definitely.
lines? Okay.
So it starts off, even the way I'm speaking to like it can be a white coworker, it could be my uncle. What up, uncle? Who, you know, thinks Reagan's the best president ever. It could be anybody, but I kind of start off like, if you and your wife, Madeline, were treated just like mine, all the anchors on ABC Nightline would speak about white crime. We see videos every night of handcuffed white boys in the nighttime. Hope you know how to fight crime. 911 is no longer your lifeline. And that's the beginning of it. Yeah. And it carries on, and the whole story is basically the world flipped. Imagine if prescription pills, which oddly enough, I don't know if this is the case this year, but in the last couple years, the most addicted person and the highest abuser was a middle-class white woman in this country. But of course, she's not the one who's persecuted the most, right? And who the justice system targets. So imagine if she was, you know, imagine if kids playing lacrosse were the target. You know, so the whole song is me as this kind of narrator figure in between the black and white worlds in which I've lived. In between my family, you know, I got blonde hair, blue-eyed cousins, and I got black hair, dark-skinned cousins. And, you know, and we have a joke about it, how, you know, Nigerians are, the stereotype is we scam artists and blah, blah, blah. We call it 419. But we have a joke about, you know, in our family that some of my cousins in Nigeria be scamming my cousins from America because my American cousins definitely been hit by that.
Yeah.
But it's being in between these worlds. I wanted to have a song that hopefully would change how people see it, man. Because it's always like a blaming and a other. Right. But to stand in the middle, you start realizing that it's we're all humans, and the best way to show it is by really painting the picture of like, and I know what's his name, a couple artists tried to do this. T.I.
did it with his
T.I.
video.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh man,
Big
I got a
Crit
song.
did it, in a sense.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So that was the essence of the white nigga song, and it's also when you put white and nigga next to each other, it's just an interesting thing.
It's startling.
Yeah, it's very startling putting it together. So I dug it, and I like the juxtaposition. I like playing that role.
Jidenna is here. The album is out tomorrow. It's called The Chief. Let's play some white nigga. Yeah. Sway in the morning, Shade 45.
Madeline, we're treated just like
Sway in the morning, Shade 45. White niggas. White niggas. Different from a wigger.
Right.
White niggas.
A lot of them say nigga anyway.
Huh?
A lot of them say nigga.
And that wigger word is gone.
Yeah,
you realize that?
Yeah, nobody says that.
Yeah.
It's not even like, I haven't heard that in like 15 years.
For real.
Or no, maybe like 10, maybe.
Yeah, what was that anyway?
That's weird, right?
Jidenna is here. I'm a big Issa Rae fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Me too.
And I thought you were hilarious, pretending to be somebody's boyfriend because you thought it was going to help her out in the series Insecure.
Right.
And I thought this guy was a natural. Jidenna, check this out.
It's Monday already.
The weekend went by way too fast. Leave your sleeve off! Damn dog.
You know, I got to go home anyway. I can't go to work in jeans.
Well, next time you just have to bring an extra suit.
Yeah, I should carry a garment bag around with me on dates.
Or you can just leave one here.
Uh-huh.
So what are you up to tonight?
That all depends. Are we going to finish what we started?
Actually, my friend Diane's having a party.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she just got engaged, so she's celebrating that. Wanna come?
Can we play by ear? I got a lot going on at work.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's Jidenna, man. You seem like a natural, man.
Right. Smooth.
Like he's had to avoid that situation before. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'll be there.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, it was fun. It was like the corporate version of myself. That's how I felt like I was playing. Like if I went the law school route, and I'm glad that Issa put me on, man. She made a promise to me years ago. You know, we was in school, and I was actually making music for her screenplays that she was writing,
Crazy.
TV series, and I'd be like, okay, let me vibe off this Coltrane right here. This would be good for that. So we would work together and jam while she's writing. And she always wanted me to act, always. She wanted me to play the lead role in School Days when she put that on at Stanford. And I was always like, nah. I was just a rapper at the time, so I was like, nah, man, gotta get in the rap game first, you know what I'm saying? And I just, you know what I mean, once I make it, then, you know what I mean, I'm gonna expand like Pac did, you know what I mean? I had this whole grand plan, and eventually the time came where I did put out the music, and she was like, all right. She called me up, you ready? I was like, damn, man, I ain't never taken an acting class or anything.
Wow.
But she trusted. I didn't even do the audition, and I just went right on set and just
did what you did?
And did that. She was like, just, you know, you'll know this guy. You went to school with him, you know? So it was great, man. And that's my homie. We got a lot more planned. She got vision galore. She's seen it since she was young. So it's great to see, you know, your friends make it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Issa Rae.
Now, what about the Luke Cage part? How did that come about?
Actually, similar way, man. Cheo went to Stanford. That's the thing, man. People don't know, like, the school, like, it's a game, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a great student. I can play a game, you know? I got good at whatever I did. When I was slinging for a little while, I was great at it, you know what I mean?
What were you slinging?
Small things, man.
Like,
small. That's why I don't talk about it.
In the Bay or?
Yeah, in the Bay.
You was selling weed
at Stanford. It's nothing big. It's like, and I just had it branded well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I had
You had the
my
package.
I had the Black Spades on it because that was my rap group.
Okay.
And so I had everybody at Stanford on that Black Spades strain.
Yeah.
So, but
what was it? Was it a sativa?
oh, it
or
was sativa.
Yeah,
it was just
okay.
OG Kush.
Okay.
But the thing is, that's not, and it's not something I brag about because it wasn't nothing. But it was just a game. I was like, all right, cool. Like I smoke a lot. I need to feed my habit. Let me just figure out a nice little game. And that's how school was for me. You know, it was. I remember when my guidance counselor was like, it reminded me of that scene in X when he's like, he's talking to Malcolm and he's like, Jesus was a carpenter.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, a
man.
lawyer's no job for a nigger.
Yeah.
You know, I've had that. The guidance counselor at my school were like, you have a lot of Ivy League schools listed here, and there are reaches for you. And the school that's the biggest reach is Stanford. You probably shouldn't have spend your money on the applications for that. So I applied to all these Ivy League schools. I applied to all these schools. I learned the game. You got to have all these extracurricular activities. So I founded the school's first African Student Alliance. I had a magazine. I don't even know if we ever met.
Yeah.
I founded like 3 things. I became active on campus all in 1 year. And then I made damn sure that I killed it. And all these students writing nigger on the bathroom stall and talking about you only getting in because you black, blah, blah, blah. But I got into every school I applied to. I got into all those Ivy League schools, and I went to Stanford. So for me, that was my fight in school.
Could have went to Harvard, Heather. DB, go ahead.
Well, since you mentioned Malcolm X and we're talking about your acting career and everything like that, would you ever portray somebody as like in a biopic or something like that? Because I saw the video, I think it was for Long Live the Chief, and you kind of do this whole like African, you had like a motorcade, you were coming out, people were surrounding you as though you were some huge political figure. So it kind of looked like a movie. So, I mean, would you ever consider playing somebody?
Yeah, I would love to, man. I would love to play somebody in a biopic. Definitely not X. Denzel did that to.
Yeah, but you got the Malcolm Red thing going.
Yeah, they used to call me Boston Red in Boston.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I loved it, but I mean, I don't think anybody could ever play Malcolm as well as Denzel. I don't think there'll ever be. I mean, that's one of the best biopics I've ever seen in my life. One of the best movies.
Yeah.
If without that, I wouldn't be here, honestly, because a lot of us didn't have like a father figure around, and Malcolm really became that for me when I saw that movie.
Wow. And that same year, X was up for movie of the year, lost to Driving Miss Daisy.
I love that.
It's America, baby. We still in America.
Yes.
All right, we got Joshua from Ohio on the line. What up, Joshua?
Hey, what up? What up, crew? How y'all doing?
What up?
What's up, bro?
Not much. Hey, Jidenna, check this out, man. I just want to say congratulations on your debut album. I respect your music, man. I respect you as an artist. And, all the other artists out there, you are definitely my repertoire of how, I am as an artist, how I write poetry, how I do anything with music, man.
Wow.
You are an inspiring person, bro, for real.
Man, thank you, bro.
You really speak the truth about what's really out here in America, what's really going on in the culture. And Sway, also with the cipher that y'all had on Revolt, man, congratulations on that. Those artists are beasts, man. Those guys are live.
Man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Get the album, man. The Chief is out tomorrow, man. Show them that you really love them.
Thank you, bro.
Also, you're going to be performing on the Heat, Channel 46, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you tune into the Heat.
Fire.
Man, so many questions.
Please shoot.
Questions. Well, we ain't got so much time. That's the only problem. How do you say Adora?
Adora.
Adora.
Yeah, Adora.
It's a beautiful song.
Man, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is Adora?
Well, it's a name, actually. It's an Igbo name in Nigeria, but it's also sounds like just Adora.
Yeah.
Which is huge. I mean, in Spanish and just the Romance languages, you hear Adora. I always wanted to use that name because it was so easy to make a hook out of it. I adore you, Adora.
Right.
That's kind of that's different than Bambi's the love lost. Adora is like the one that's riding with you.
Yeah.
You're Bonnie and Clyde. And I wanted to really, man, on this album, in reference to women, I wanted to, 1, be vulnerable, 2, plead and sing to women not on some like I'm trying to game. Like I be listening to R&B right now. Like I don't consider myself an R&B artist. You could put me in that category. I'm fine. I'm not gonna fight you over it. But when I listen to it, it's like puppy love. You know, a lot of it doesn't have a depth to it. It doesn't feel like these guys are really in real relationships, or if they are, and I'm talking about male R&B artists. Some are great. It's not. This is more of a generalization. But I wanted to make songs that feel like it used to, where like the guy's on his knees and he's pleading for her, because like right now in the age of fear, love is gonna be that strong, tough love is gonna be the thing that cut through everything, man. It ain't no soft, sweet shit, man. Yeah. So the way I'm singing Adora, I came back from Mexico, and these mariachi singers would like take off the hat, put it on their heart, and like sing. And they look so cold, man. Yeah. They would sing like this, you know, like straight face, but they sing to the woman. I love that. So I wanted to do a song that was Afro-Cuban, flamenco, Portuguese, all that kind of mixing together, but then put that underbelly of the trap drums. I've been living and working out of Atlanta because of Wonderland, so I've been there last 3 years just soaking it up. And so the trap rhythms are like, you know, you ride an Uber X in Atlanta, it's trap in that car.
You go to the bathroom, elevators.
Everywhere, the bank. Trapping. So that's why there's so much trap rhythms down under it, but people don't realize you don't have to put everything on top of the rhythm. Don't got to be trap. So I mixed and fused that.
This is going to be our final song for the day.
Nice.
I mean, you got to single out the Let Out with Quavo's on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you'll hear that everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, but we wanted to dig into the album, man, and then thank you for coming through.
Man, thank you.
We got to do more. We got to do part 2.
Yeah, we're going to come. Exactly.
All right, okay.
Thank you.
All right, Jidenna, ladies and gentlemen, the album's out tomorrow. The Chief. Also, we want to thank Kate Upton for coming by today. Catch her on that
Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover 2017.
Hey.
Hello.
3 covers.
3 covers. She came in here really nice.
she's
Tomorrow's show, Q, who we got, OQ?
Humdinger.
Okay.
We got OC, member of
through?
DITC.
Okay.
He's got a new album out, and we also have Chrissy Metz on the show This Is Us.
Okay, great. Heather, how can they reach you?
At the Happy Hour WHB.
Tracy.
Twitter, Instagram, at it's Tracy G, ITSJACYG. And for all my dope millennial women who want some emotional empowerment, visit my site, shesbeautyandthebeast.com.
Wow, Wonder, how can I get you?
At DJ Wonder across the board.
Anybody, jump in. Everybody, shit.
I am OQ on Instagram.
All right.
It's really DB everywhere.
Jidenna, you can hit him directly if you want to find out more about this album and ask him any kind of weird question. Hit him on social media.
555-555-555. Also, social media at Jidenna. Just Google Jidenna.
All right, I'm at Real Sway, and then also on Amazon Music, King Tech and I put together 4 different lists for each week of Black History Month with music that kind of affected us in the 90s, changed our lives, and touched the black community through our lens. So go to Amazon Music and go to the Sway and King Tech side-by-side list. And then we also tell great stories in between the songs of why we selected those songs. All right. And then don't forget also the Doomsday Cypher 2 on Revolt. We will have it on SwaysUniverse.com today. And until tomorrow, we have nothing left to say.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.
Kilo.